Levi Colwill has voiced his belief that Chelsea can end the season in spectacular fashion. The young Blues defender believes his side still have a great chance of finishing in the Champions League places, and even called Chelsea an unstoppable team when they are at their best. Speaking after the convincing victory in the Conference League, Colwill stressed the importance of the match against Ipswich this weekend. Every game is a final now. We have to take the 3 points at home. Plus, we still have the sting of losing to them in December. Time to get even. Colwill did not forget to remind us that the defeat to Ipswich at that time was the beginning of Chelsea's decline. We weren't good enough, and they deserved to win. But now, it's time to get even, with the right energy and anger. They may be in the relegation zone, but their style of play is far from the bottom of the table. Regarding the team's performance, Colwill confidently said that when Chelsea play with confidence, they can beat anyone. Momentum and confidence is everything. If we perform at our level, I don't think we're going to be stopped. We have to keep pushing that and take it into Sunday. As well as targeting a top 4 finish, Colwill also expressed Chelsea's determination to win the Conference League. If you play for Chelsea, you have to try to win every competition. We're here to lift trophies. Colwill's comments reflect a renewed spirit in the Stamford Bridge dressing room, a belief that the season can still end on a high under new manager Enzo Maresca. Chelsea are indeed hunting for a new striker this summer. But interestingly, it's not because they are dissatisfied with Nicholas Jackson's performance. On the contrary, Enzo Maresca called Jackson the ideal figure in his game plan. In his interview, Maresca even said, "The perfect striker for me is Nico Jackson. If I could have a copy of him, that would be enough." Jackson scored 9 goals and 5 assists this season without once taking a penalty. His contribution is not only seen from the numbers, but also from his big influence on the team's performance. Maresca admitted that Jackson's presence made Chelsea appear much more effective. He regretted the injury that had made the player absent, because only then did the team realize how important Jackson was on the front line. However, that doesn't mean Chelsea will give up without adding strength. Maresca emphasized that the club still needs one additional striker, not as a main competitor, but a young backup who can learn from Jackson. Chelsea's focus now is not looking for a big name like Victor Osimhen, who they failed to bring in last year, but a talented young striker who can develop under Maresca's guidance. One name that continues to be linked with the Blues is 22-year-old Ipswich Town striker Liam Delap. Interestingly, Delap was coached by Maresca at Manchester City's academy, and their working relationship was considered very positive at the time. Delap has been in outstanding form this season with 12 Premier League goals, and he has a £30 million release clause if Ipswich are relegated. It's not just the goals he scores, but the way he fights, and is always there in every important moment makes him stand out. But of course, at the moment he's still an Ipswich player, and we'll try to beat him first before we talk about the future, said Maresca. Delap may not be on the same level as the likes of Haaland or Harry Kane, but Maresca described Delap as a typical pure number 9 striker, a type that is becoming increasingly rare in modern football. With Jackson continuing to be a mainstay, and Delap a potential future backup, Chelsea appear to be rearranging their long-term plans up front. Without the need for lavish spending, Maresca chose to form a team based on tactical needs, not just big names. Chelsea are back actively hunting for a new striker. This time, the name Vangelis Pavlidis from Benfica has emerged as one of the Blues' main targets for the summer transfer market. The 26-year-old Greek striker has been sharp this season with 24 goals in 46 matches with Benfica. His performance has attracted the attention of a number of big European clubs, including Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, and Newcastle United. Now Chelsea is also in the hunt. Pavlidis has actually been linked with Chelsea when he was still playing at AZ Alkmaar, even since 2023, but last season he joined Benfica for around 18 million euros. Now, his price has skyrocketed because he has a release clause of 100 million euros. However, the possibility of Chelsea paying the clause is small. Manager Enzo Maresca still believes in Nicholas Jackson and does not want to spend big on a main striker. His focus is on finding a younger and more affordable substitute striker. Other names on the shortlist include Ipswich Town's Liam Delap, who has a £30 million release clause, as well as RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko and Lilla's Jonathan David. With many of England's top clubs, including Arsenal, Liverpool and Manchester United, also looking for a new striker, competition is sure to be fierce. But one thing is for sure, Chelsea are on the move, and the summer could be a defining moment for the Stamford Bridge front line. Former AC Milan defender Marcel Desailly has openly criticized Joao Felix as a player who has no character and is not suitable to play for a club as big as Milan. In an interview with Sky Sport Italia, Desailly called the Chelsea loanee a clear example of the mentality crisis in the Rossoneri. Joao Felix is a very talented player, but he has never really shown his quality at the highest level. He failed at Atletico Madrid, failed at Chelsea, and now he is sinking at Milan. The problem is not in technique but in mentality and character, said Desailly. According to Desailly, Joao Felix should be in a team that can be built around him with a clear playing philosophy. But Milan, who are currently in the midst of tactical and identity confusion, are not the ideal place for a player like him. He is not a leader. At a time when Milan need a strong figure who can be a role model, Felix is sucked into the chaos of the team. He does not have the mental strength to lift the team, and Milan do not need a player like that now. Desailly even suggested that Joao Felix look for a new club that better suits his playing style and personality. Maybe PSG could be the right choice, but for now, Milan and Joao Felix are both not a good fit. He came with high expectations, but again failed to meet them, said Desailly. This criticism emphasizes the fact that Felix has not managed to find a stable career footing, despite having tried at 3 big European clubs. And now his position at Milan is starting to be questioned, as his contribution and fighting spirit on the field are decreasing. Chelsea have once again surprised the market with their aggressive move in the transfer market. The London club is reportedly ready to spend €40 million to secure the signature of Jesus Rodriguez, the young Real Betis winger who is currently stealing the spotlight. According to a report from Fichajes, Chelsea have started making serious plans to bring in the 19-year-old player. Rodriguez himself only made his professional debut last December, but has immediately become an important part of Manuel Pellegrini's squad. From 23 matches with the Betis first team, he has recorded 4 goal contributions, a number that is quite promising for a player of his age. Rodriguez is known to be flexible in playing on both wings, has speed, composure, and the courage to challenge opposing defenders one-on-one. It is no wonder that he is now being hunted by big clubs, including Chelsea, who are looking for a right-footed winger after the Jadon Sancho situation and the absence of Modric. Chelsea see Rodriguez as the ideal player for Enzo Maresca's long-term project. Although the player's release clause is set at €50 million, Betis are reportedly ready to negotiate at €40 million if the player shows a strong desire to leave. So far, there have been no official talks between the clubs, but the Blues have started to approach and prepare a proposal that could tempt both Betis and the player. This is a strong signal that Chelsea are serious about forming a young squad with extraordinary potential. Jesus Rodriguez could be the next big investment in the new era at Stamford Bridge. The question now is, will he be a star of the future or just another short-term project?